to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At DISAC Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
DISAC Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Morning to you and welcome to the Morning Dew Show here on DISAC TV, the cradle of goodness. My name is Anne Mungai.
And my name is Andy Mike Kilambo, and you can reach us on our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our SMS number is running down below your screens.
The hashtag is always the Morning Dew Show. Now, today being now that we are at 13 days to elections, and today being the 26th of July, today is the presidential debate.
Yep.
We have a lot lined up for you. But first, let's look at what is happening on the headlines.
And on the Daily Nation, being Tuesday 26th, 2022, on the Daily Nation, the front page, Decision 2022, 13 days to election. The big standoff, that is what is making headlines on the Daily Nation today. That is the big standoff. And as you know very well, we are expecting today to have a very heated debate and the exchange of ideas from our presidential candidates. Moving on to this story is more of this story is on page 12. That is the big standoff. Another story that is also making headlines is the sad news of the Kenyans we lost yesterday due to the accident that happened, and that is indeed the bridge bus crash. So there are pictures here of some of the passengers that we lost. Very sad, and we are very, very, very sorry to the families, and we are praying for them this difficult time. There's also a story, a special magazine that is Healthy Nation, and this, ladies, you are privileged today because there's a segment for you on how you can make your body look good, and it is labeled The Search for a Perfect Body. Rather, there's also a special report on the UDA deputy president, the running mate to the UDA party, that is Rigathi Gachagua, and the making of money bags. So there's a story about him. And there's a book review on how Moi was running his government. So these are some of the stories making headlines today on the Daily Nation, and we'll be talking more about the interesting stories on the magazine and make the highlights.
Okay, looking at the standard, we have also amazing stories that are making headlines. The first one being on page 4, IEBC Defense Trio as Central Farm goes quiet. This is a follow-up story, and we talked about it yesterday about the IEBC saga, and we're going to look at it into details. Another story here on page 13 says Raila promises Boda riders shillings 1 billion fund. That's on page 13. We're going to look at that. Another story here on page maybe 27 says Harare to use gold coins as currency. That is amazing. We're going to look at that. And a story on page 6 and 7, plunged to death, country mourns 34 Nithi victims. That's a very sad story. We're going to look at it. And there's another story on page 25 of the Business Standard says Kenyans get shillings 7.5 billion loans to stabilize flour and oil prices. We are going to look at that in details. Not forgetting the story on page 38 and 39. We get 10 medals, hits and misses at Oregon. We're going to maybe highlight on that. But right now, let's look at newspapers reviews.
And the biggest story in town today, as you know, it's the 26th. And the moment has come. You see, reality travels slowly, but soon it catches up with you. So it has caught up with us today, and we are waiting to see the presidential debate, the long-awaited presidential debate, that is. So I don't know if today they are going to be put separately like they did for the deputies, because we had the Azimio going with the UDA, and then we had the Roots Party, Vice, and the Agano also going together. But I hope today they'll all be in one platform, the four of them, yeah, so that we are able to see the change of ideologies between both parties. Yeah.
So in regards to if they're going to be put together or separated according to polls, the reason as to why actually the deputy president, do you remember their debate?
Yeah.
The reason as to why they were separated is because in 2017, and there's a comment on that on the Standard page 10. In 2013, rather, despite the debate receiving a praise because all of the presidential candidates were together, they were giving their views. There was it was cumbersome because everyone was talking, and people are not given chance to talk one by one, and it was difficult to follow. That is the reason as to why they decided to maybe separate a bit so that everyone can get a chance to give their views. And I want to quote what maybe Ms. Kimani said. We decided to work with this format of this year because it allows us to delve deeper into issues and allow every candidate to have adequate time to tackle the issues. So that is why they maybe decided to separate according to...
Is it that now they're going to... That's the same way they're going to do even this presidential debate?
I don't know if they're going to do that, but that is now according to the deputy president debate. I think they may maybe change it because candidates like Agano Party leader and also Roots Party leader say that if they're not put in one platform, they would not attend the debate.
I think that's the way out, because we would really want to see how they counter-attack this. I think it would be more interesting if they all shared a platform instead of dealing with two, because now they'll be answering questions like from me to you, you know. But we need the four of them so that we are able to pinpoint what are they going to do. We're looking forward to, I don't know, Kenyans, if you are excited as much, but I am so looking forward for this presidential debate. I would really want to know how they want to like put their manifestos into a working manifesto. It shouldn't just be, tell us how it's going to work, how you're going to do it. If I were there, I would like to ask Wajackoyah some questions like, how are we going to rear these snakes? What is the measures, you know? Tell us how it's going to be. How we ask the Azimio chief, how are we going to get that 6,000 shillings? And what plans do you have? Where is this money coming from? Because we are still in debt, and the Eurobond is in 2024. How are we going to pay that? Ask Ruto, the UDA presidential candidate, that is Dr. Ruto. Ask Ruto, you know what? You've said it is a bottom-up economy. How are we going to run this? How is it going to work? How is it different from Sri Lanka? Because at least we have the same ideas. From your ideas and that of Sri Lanka are like kind of the same. How is it different from theirs? You know, we have questions. Yeah.
You know, clustering them separately according to polls. According to now Mr. Wajakoya of the Roots Party and Agano, they feel like they were not given. They will not be given opportunity to face maybe their opponent, you know, in a nice manner, or how they would prefer it per se. And that is the reason as to why actually they separated, because they were asked, why are you separating them? Why are you separating them according to polls? And they did it because of the last time's presidential debate. Yeah, that is the reason.
Okay, let's just get back to what we have to do and see what they have to give us in the evening. But the big standoff, that is what is making headlines today on the Daily Nation. And this is what they say. We still are this. They're also asking the same question. Will Raila show up? You remember yesterday we were saying the Azimio chief might not show up. So that is the biggest question. Or is he going to do the Sakaja entry, you know, come in a little bit late just to capture the attention and all that. But looking at the Daily Nation today, the thing is, there's still the chance that, like Dr. Ruto before him, Mr. Odinga will ignore bad advice and agree to take part. If so, the stage could be set for a reverting duo between a younger and nimble master of the debate platform and an older opponent with a stellar record in the quest for human rights and democracy. So that is the two of them. You see how they've been brought up. So we already know that if they do the duo thing, we'll be having Raila going, the Azimio candidate going against the UDA party leader. Then we'll have the Agano party leader going through with the Roots party leader. I don't think we'll get what you really want. They should all be in one platform. Yeah. So that we see the relationship between all of them. Because one will be weaker than the other. We'll be looking forward to seeing what UDA is going to say or what Azimio is going to say, preferably, considerably, without really thinking of a Roots party or a Agano party. You get me? So they'd rather be in one setting. Yeah, that's what I think. So if Azimio la Umoja candidate Raila Odinga makes good his threat to skip the presidential debate tonight, he will be forced to counter claims that he chickened out at the prospects of going head-to-head against Kenya Kwanza William Ruto, who skipped the 2017 debate. By the way, you know, it's happened before.
And according to maybe Clifford Machoka, who is the head presidential debate secretariat, he says the debate allows voters to make informed decisions and offers an opportunity to hold leaders accountable for what they say. So the question might be, maybe they are somehow scared to be asked questions they are not able to answer. We do not know why, but according to spokesman, Odinga Presidential Campaign Secretariat spokesman, Makau Mutua, he said that, and I quote, Raila Odinga is a man who has no regard for ethics, public morals, or shame. That is why we do not intend to share a national podium with a person who lacks basic decency. That is now in regards to Deputy President William Ruto.
So we don't want a repeat of that, what happened in 2017. By the way, it would really be good if he attended, despite everything that is going on. It would be really a big plus if he attended, because we would really want to see them how are they going to manage themselves on that platform before we even give them, one of them, a chance to manage us as a country? You know, it would be interesting. Just think about it. So William Ruto, who skipped the 2017 debate but now says Odinga pulled out to avoid a resounding humiliation. Yeah, because I know there are going to be issues of integrity, issues of corruption that I have to talk about. Maybe what their net worth is, you know. So I don't know what the fear is, but we hope that they'll be coming through for us. Yeah.
You can tell us what you think about this issue of Azimio candidates not attending the debate. And actually, people have been commenting on Twitter, and there are actually some comments drafted here on page 19 of the Standard. And maybe I could read just one or two. This is from maybe Paul Rodolphe. He says President Uhuru never attended debate in 2017. He probably advised his brother that it is not necessary. Remember, he is the council chairman. And Amakabira Namale says his allocated time will be given to his main rival. Now there'll be no noise. Oh, our man was not given fair time. Oh, moderators were biased. Let's see where media houses will shift to, debate or town hall meeting. Anyway, there's a lot of things going on, but we'll definitely get into details with that. But let's quickly maybe look at a very, very, very crucial story on page 13. This is a crucial one to say, and maybe we'll highlight it a bit because time is not on our side. But it says on page 13, Raila pledges shillings 1 billion fund for border groups.
Okay.
Yes. So the border associations, they are excited, and they have endorsed Raila for president, saying that we are proud to rally behind Raila since he has shown he has best interest for border operators. He said, Raila also said that he's going to roll out refresher courses for police officers and county enforcement officers to ensure they handle the operators with decorum following complaints. So he has a lot of plans for police officers and also maybe the Boda Safety Association Club. And they have actually endorsed him. He is going to, let me just read what it says here. The association urged Raila to push for the reduction of taxes that have led to the increase in motorbike prices from 110,000 shillings to 180,000 in the last few years. Yeah, so it's a plus for the Boda. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a good thing, given that at some point they had lost hope in the government and the police brutality. Remember that time within all that story. Now that Raila's the Azimio chief has come to give them a boost and give them that they are people too. They're not minute. They feel like they've been given some importance in the transport sector, and with all that money to change their lives. So that's also a very nice strategy from the Azimio chief. You know.
That and many more stories. There are a lot of stories on the Standard and on the Daily Nation. And you can check them out, today's papers. But right now, we need to take a very short commercial break. But when we come back, we'll be talking more of political stuff. Don't go anywhere.
Right from inception, the Dysec Media Services Limited has been committed to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At Daisak Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
Daisak Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Show here on Daisak TV, the cradle of goodness. Yeah, our hashtag is always the Morning Dew Show. You can, tell us what you think about all the things that you were talking about. You can tell us. We'll definitely read your comments. But right now, we want to look at a very, very important story on page 25 that is related to every Kenyan, and I want us to maybe look at it. Let me read what it says on the front page. It said Kenya gets 7.5 billion shillings loan to stabilize flour and oil prices. And that story goes further on page 25 of the Standard. And it says that the Africa Development Bank has extended Kenya a loan of 7.4 billion shillings to boost the production of cereals and oil seeds in a bid to tame food prices. The money is expected to help Kenya increase the production of food such as maize and wheat, as well as oil seeds such as soya beans used in manufacture of edibles. What do you think about this?
Okay, the idea of us having to get more loans is scary, and I feel I'm scared about that, because you already have enough loans to pay off and enough debts that we need to pay off. But if at all it's going to help in bringing up the food insecurity to a stabilizing situation where we get food, then it's okay. Yeah, given that they will have to give farmers, it's a little bit tricky though, because right now we are not experiencing the rains that we've been expecting. So right now, farmers themselves have an issue. So I don't know how they're going to do that, unless this money is to wow the millers so that we have this deal going more than 4 weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking in my mind right now.
But the good thing is the money will enable 650,000 farmers to access seeds, fertilizers, agriculture extension services ahead the October-December short rains. So
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Now let's hope that the rains will be there, because if they're not there, then we'll be having a problem. So far, we haven't seen the rains. We don't have a pattern. There's a climate change. We have a problem with the rains. We should be experiencing them at some time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think that it's a positive thing somehow, and We really hope it's going to play out the way they have strategized it. But you can check that story more on page 25 of the Standard.
Okay, and just a little bit. Let's talk about this sad news that we woke up to yesterday. That is the Nithi Bridge bus crash. The ones we lost. We lost very good people here. If you look at the Daily Nation, the front page, that is, we've lost a lot of young minds. We've lost a lot of young minds. So far. 34 that is the number of confirmed deaths yesterday of the Sunday crash. 34 deaths, and I think the bus should be carrying around 55 people. So it's we've lost more than half the bus. There's some pictures here of the people that were part of that. That is the driver. We lost the conductor. We lost 2 young couples who were going for the wedding dowry talks. We lost a doctor in the making. She was just confirmed resident, 28-year-old Dr. Mary Mwandisha. So it's a very sad news, and we're really praying for the families to take heart right now and be consoled.
So in regards to that story, actually, the authority through its director, George Njau, who is the NTSA director, said that they have halted the bus company, that is the Modern Coast company, operations with immediate effect. The suspension will affect all its 31 buses. So Modern Coast is not operating as of now because of that tragedy that happened, and at least 34 were killed according to now the way you've said, 34 confirmed deaths. It's a very sad story because yesterday we actually had 24, so 10 others have succumbed to deaths.
And just to add on it, that story goes on page 7 of the Daily Nation, where we have an exclusive of what really went down. You can take time and get a copy of the Daily Nation, and it says a search for bodies was still going on yesterday, even as authorities continued to trace victims' families. So there are guys who died. There are people who in the wreck also got lost in the process. So in that, all the river where it went to, we have to go look for other people that are still missing. And recovery efforts continue the wreckage of the Modern Coast bus that plugged into the Nithi River along Meru-Nairobi Highway on Sunday, and it has claimed 34 lives. Let's put these families in prayers as we see. Let me just highlight a little things here. Now this is it's on page 7 of the Daily Nation, and it's built over the deep Nithi River Valley along the Meru-Embu Road in Tharaka Nithi County. The Nithi Bridge is inviting due to scenic surrounding, but its steep descent as a descent also causes dread. And it's not the first time it's been doing that. And we talked about it yesterday, saying, these black spots should be dealt with. You remember there's a story of in Ukambani where people were going for a wedding, and when they tried to cross, the bus collapsed in the river, and it killed all these people. Did you see that? I think you saw that story, and it's very saddening because our leaders, we're also asking you to take in interest on these small things like roads, and please see to it that something is done, because this has been a problem since the 1990s, the early 2000s. The bridge became infamous for claiming many lives as vehicles plunged into the river. The accidents reduced after the Kenya National Highway Authority separated the descending section as you head to Chuka using the Rumble Strip. But right now, we're still having the same problem. You can find this story and more on the Daily Nation on page 7, and you can be able to feel their pain as they go through this. Please put them in your prayers.
So in regards to the same story, there's a very, very important story that is below the standard. At the bottom there, on page 6, it says that Paul Murothi Nyarua, alias Simba, had repeatedly told his family he was driving a defective vehicle. Speaking in Mombasa at the Modern Coast Bus, Makupa Yard, his widow Beatrice Wakuthi and brother Joseph Gitonga said Mureithi 56 had complained several times about the state of the bus he was assigned. And I quote, "Each time my husband was home, he would complain about the vehicle's frequent breakdowns. Besides, he was never on a full salary since onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. He only got allowances." This is now the widow to Paul Mureithi, alias Simba, who was the driver. She says
Very
that
sad news.
the husband was complaining to her about the defects of the said vehicle. And it's very sad. It's very sad.
It was going to be avoided because the idea was the bus had a failure in brakes, so it could have been avoided. So we cannot say that the driver was maybe basing his complaints to the wife instead of basing it to his bosses or something. But we can avoid these things by just adhering to complaints, listening to people's whatever they have to say, because I think the driver had alarmed about all this, but it still ferried people, and we've lost lives. But we pray to God that you take heart and you be consoled. And on to other stories. The IEBC remains quiet on questions raised by the DCI on the 3 Venezuelans. That is on page 4 of the Daily Nation, a very interesting story. Mr. Chebukati had accused the police of intimidating election staff after the 3 foreigners were detained. You know, and I know you're also asking yourself that the same question. We also sought to know the IBC's relations with Mr. Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad, the chief executive officer of a Nairobi-based technology startup, that is Seamless Technologies, and whether the said company had a subcontract with the IBC or semantics, because we don't really know about that. The small firm, it's a small firm which was established in 2010 according to the website list, itself as providing IT solutions to small and medium enterprises from its location at the House of Innovation and Technology along Dennis Pretty Road in the city. So how does this small an IT company that deals with small and medium enterprises get a very big tender like the IBC? You know,
that is the question.
These are some of the questions you're asking yourself. And if you want to get more of this story, it's on the page 4 of the Daily Nation. Today we told you the Daily Nation has very interesting story. You can check on that and see what they have to say. Electoral Commission is yet to clarify what relationship it has with the tech startup Seamless Technologies. Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, the story on page 15 of the Standard that says President says Uhuru Gardens to be museum of cultural artifacts, and he said that we decided that this site, which our forefathers decided would be our independent site, would host our history with which help us celebrate our good, see our bad, and remember our ugly acts. So you can tell us what you think about this new change that Uhuru Gardens will be a museum to cultural artifacts. Are you for it? Or is it a positive thing for you, or are you not for that idea? You can tell us on our platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We will definitely read your comments.
There's also a story here that about, it's still politics, and that is the DP. The DP suggests voting in independent candidates in his backyard would embarrass him. So apparently the DP Ruto calls for 6-piece voting in the North Rift. He expects nothing less in the North Rift. And he says, just to quote a little bit, that is, there is no way we are going to elect independent candidates here at home. It cannot happen, and do not allow that to take place. Really? So in the North Rift, it's a 6-piece, UDA 6-piece. That is what the DP Ruto is advocating for, and that story, more of that story, is on page 5 of the Daily Nation. Yeah.
Okay, looking at another story on page 3 of the Standard, it's saying that teachers suspected of sexually assaulting 3 people arrested. It's a very, very sad story.
That's a very, very sad story.
Actually says police in Conoin have arrested a teacher who was accused of sexually abusing 3 people. And a teacher from the school, who is Tom Achinya, said that the teacher was arrested after the school administration raised the alarm. Now apparently they found the standard 8 child molested and lying on the ground, and it is very sad. Police say that investigations are still underway. You can check that story on page 3 of the Standard.
That is very sad, because right now we're scared. In fact, we don't know. We really don't know where our children are safe right now. They're not safe at home. They're not safe with our teachers, because we are having cases of teachers molesting the children. So we don't know where the problem is. Do you think the problem is with the children or with the teachers?
In this case, I think the problem is the teacher, because a standard 8-year-old child does not know anything, and putting them to such trauma is very critical.
Why would teachers do that? I think there's a code of ethics that should be followed about something of this sort, because we're having problems with teachers. It's not a joke. We're having problems with teachers, and the cases are rising, whether in high school and primary. You find teachers. We had a story last time where a teacher who was teaching in a private school was molesting a young girl in an estate. You do this in an estate, you do it in a classroom, you do it. Where are we safe now? In fact, I would really back up the CS Magoa's decision that children should be day scholars, and parents, you should do your part. Please do your part. No, follow your child's. Talk to your child. Don't be rude. Don't be mad at them. Don't scare them away by trying to instill discipline. You know that. But rather, they should talk to them so that the children are able to come and open up to you instead of going away from you. Because I think that we are failing as parents. We are failing as teachers. We are failing as a community. Before this, we had people as the child was for a community, and everybody had an equal responsibility in helping them out. It's so sad that we're having these kind of cases, and I hope that those people face justice as much as what they do.
And on to another sad story on page 27 of the Standard. Man who murdered ex-wife during live stream is executed. A Chinese man has been executed for murdering his ex-wife by setting her alight while she was live streaming. That is sad. You can check that story on page 27. And on the same page, Zimbabwe to sell gold coins to citizens to arrest inflation. Now, apparently, Zimbabwe has launched gold coins to be sold to the public in a bid to tame runaway inflation that has further eroded the country's unstable currency.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because the inflation rate in Zimbabwe were over the bar. So maybe the gold coins would work for that, because you remember the other time, the times of Gaddafi, he had an idea that if we had a united Africa, then we would have gold as our currency. But if we had gold as our currency, we would undermine the dollar in its own. So that's why it was objected. But right now, this is the only thing the Zimbabweans can do for now, because the inflation rates there are very devastating. Yeah.
So what we know is that the central bank has disbursed 2,000 coins to Commercial Bank on Monday, and it will be distributed and will be produced locally to Zimbabweans. So you can check more of that story on page 27 of the Standard, and actually highlighting maybe a story here about Sonko. We know the story about Sonko. It's on page 12 of the Standard. That is the former governor for Nairobi County, Mike Sonko. He said and I want to read maybe what the newspaper says. The Supreme Court is tomorrow set to hear application by former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko seeking a review of the court's decision which dismissed his December 2020 impeachment case. Now, the High Court has sustained Sonko's argument that despite his impeachment, he was eligible to vie because Article 99 allowed him to contest polls due to a pending appeal at the Supreme Court. But, however, legal experts argue that with the Supreme Court verdict, Sonko's political career has hit a curl, at least for the next 10 years, and that he has no legal maneuvers out of his current predicament. Ndegwa, who is maybe the one of the lawyers for Sonko, argues that there are no effective mechanisms for enforcing EACG decisions. There is even no guarantee that the EACG will agree with him in the view of very straightforward provision of the Constitution. So we're actually waiting for tomorrow to see if he will indeed get that his case will be heard. What do you think about that? Maybe quickly.
I don't know exactly what Mr. Sonko what his predicaments are right now, because he's tried his level best to be on that gubernatorial seat of Mombasa, and so far things are not. They don't really seem to go his way. And if at all they go his way, the next day he's not really sure if he's there. But we hope that we hope for the best for him. That's all we can say for him.
And I want to correct maybe something I said there about Ndegwa. Ndegwa. Oh my God, pardon me for that. Ndegwa is not his lawyer. He's not Mike Sonko's lawyer, but he's a lawyer. He's called Omoti Ndegwa. He was just giving his view. He's not his lawyer, so pardon me for that. And on that note, we need to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be talking matters politics. Don't go anywhere.
Right from inception, the DISAC Media Services Limited has been committed to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At Daisak Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
Daisak Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Right from inception, the Daisak Media Services Limited has been committed to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At Daisak Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
Daisak Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Right from inception, the Daisak Media Services Limited has been committed to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At Daisak Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
Daisak Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Welcome back to the Morning Dew Show here on Diasac TV, the cradle of goodness. Remember, you can reach us on our social media platforms, that is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Diasac TV. Hashtag is always the Morning Dew Show. Now, right now, we are at the political segment, and we have a very, very interesting story. Maybe Mr. Kilambo highlighted it earlier, and I want us to get into details with it. On my end, it's on the Standard page 4, and it's actually on the Daily Nation.
On the Daily Nation, still on page 4.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a very crucial and interesting story. Now, on the Standard says that Chebukati says no law broken as the identity of local contact established. Now, as I said earlier, this is a follow-up story. Oh my God. Sorry for that. This is a follow-up story, and
Yes.
maybe we can look at it into details. And I want to read maybe the highlighters. The Venezuelans will today know whether they will be charged or deported. Another one says that IBC chair downplays the centrality of the stickers the Venezuelans are carrying, and it says that the Electoral Commission defended its dealing with Mathematic International Holdings, saying it's procedural and that it has a contractual agreement with the company. Now, and I want to quote what maybe Wafula Chebukati says, who is the IBC chairman and he says one of the conditions in the tender document was that the bidder should provide a detailed support and maintenance plan and attach documentary proof to IECT technical support staff with the registered office in Kenya. Smartmatic complied with this condition by providing a local partner. That is now according to IEBC. And he continued saying that the stickers were printed based on the details of the Gazette notice published on July 1st. The information therein is available to the public and can be accessed on the Commission's website. The stickers contain information on the polling station, polling center, ward, constituency, and county, as well as unique barcode. This is now according to Wafula Chebukati. He says no law has been broken. Everything was documented. They were printed. The stickers were printed based on the Gazette notice on July 1st.
So how come these other people had this? The Venezuelans, how did they get these stickers if everything had barcodes and they were supposed to get there on time? Those are some of the questions we are asking ourselves, that the IBC so far has not been transparent in whatever they're doing in their dealings, and every day everything keeps popping up, and we just have 13 days to go. How are we sure that all this won't change, won't affect the polling on the 9th of August?
That is a question we are asking. But do you remember yesterday we were talking about Abdullahi Abdi Mohammed, who was involved with this saga? Now, apparently, it has come to it has come to notice that Mohammed and the man adversely mentioned by DCI as the face of the saga, now Mohammed, is former employee of IEBC. Yes.
Mr. Abdullahi Abdi Mohammed is a former employee of the IEBC.
And now that I say that there is a local contact has been established, and this local contact is Sheikh, who served as MP for Wajir East between 1992 and 1997. Now, Sheikh, who is known, his political name as Abdisalam. Abdisalam is established that he's Abdi Mohammed's dad.
Okay.
And that is very
interesting.
It's very
interesting.
And actually, this Abdisalam is now the local contact, and I want to maybe enlighten you more on that. And and I want to maybe read what it says here. In a statement, the DCI declared that IBC CEO Marjan Hussein received a call from Mr. Abdisalam. Now, Sheikh, who is now his political name is Mr. Abdisalam, who claims to be a local agent of the Smartmatic, informing him that one of their staff had been detained at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport with IEBC stickers.
So it is Abdisalam who calls Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad.
No, Abdisalam calls IEBC CEO Marjan Hussein.
Marjan Hussein, yeah.
Yes, to say that one of their staff has been detained at the JKIA carrying IEBC stickers. And remember, I've told you that Abdisalam is Muhammad's father. Yes. What's your thought on that?
Wow. It's like a movie though, because coming to look at it just on this other side of the Daily Nation, and it says IEBC remains quiet on questions raised by the DCI on the 3 Venezuelans. And just to give you something about what you're talking about, this is what the Nation had to say, that we had sought to get the Commission's response to the DCI's 11-page statement, whether or not the Venezuelans had been released, and the fate of the election technology, given Mr. Chebukati claims of tampering due to passwords being sought and the electronic equipment confiscated. We also asked Commission about the significance of the election kits, identification stickers, their delivery schedule, and whether and how the confiscation of the election materials would affect the election preparedness with just 13 days to the polls. Now, this is the most interesting question.
Yeah.
We also sought to know the IEBC's relations with Mr. Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad, the Chief Executive Officer of a Nairobi-based technology startup, Seamless Technology, and whether the said company had a subcontract with IEBC or Semantic. So, so far you're trying to answer my. So far you're just trying to answer my questions. Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to take a very short commercial break. There has been a technical hitch, but we'll be back in a bit.
Pass me that cup, please. Ama zetu tunateseka. Cheki just si unaenda kucharge battery ama ni wapi una charge? So it's a decap, please. Thank you. So see, you just answering this question. Like,
just imagine baba yake ni yeye ana deal na hizi vitu.
So-
Unaambia hii country kwangi.
so yeah, kwa semantics.
Ama tunao. Yes, welcome back to the Morning Dew Show here on Dissect TV, the creator of goodness. Very sorry for that technical hitch. So we were talking about this IEBC saga, and Mr. Kilambo was saying something.
Yes, I was just highlighting some of the questions that were asked, remembering that the nation had sought to get Commission's response on the DCI's 11-page statement. The DCI had sent an 11-page statement to the IEBC asking some questions about the Venezuelans. And I was just giving you what some of the questions were regarding the Daily Nation today. And I'll just take that back and just redo it again. And some of the questions were, Mr. Chebukati claims to have tampering due to passwords being sought and the electronic equipment being confiscated. So they asked the commission about the significance of the election kits, identification stickers, their delivery schedule, and whether and how the confiscation of the election materials would affect elections preparedness with just 13 days to the polls. So those are some of the questions. So this was an interesting question. That's why I was bringing it to your attention, that we also sought to know, that is the nation, they also sought to know the IEBC's relations with Mr. Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad, which I hereby think you really helping us connect the dots here.
Yes, yeah.
So that is, they also sought to know the IEBC relation with Mr. Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nairobi-based technology startup Seamless Technology, and whether the said company had a subcontract with IEBC or Semantics. The small firm, then they really go ahead and say that the Seamless Technologies is a small firm which was established in 2010. And just you know what it does, it provides, from its website, it provides IT solutions to small and medium enterprises from its location at a House of Innovation and Technology, Ahiti, alongside Dennis Pritt Road in the city. So you would ask yourself, why would a small medium enterprise company that deals with IT solutions be handed such a big task, you know?
In regards to that, Mr. Abdi Mohammed, that is the CEO for Seamless, worked in ICT department of the Electoral Commission between 2013 and 2018 when he left to venture into private business.
Okay.
Yes. So he was in IBC before he left to venture into private business, and I would say now this Seamless.
This is a Seamless that was started in 2010.
Yeah, he had it, but he's I don't know how that worked.
So I guess the questions are on the nation and the answers are on the standard or something. Yes. Somehow they are correlated. And just to also ask a little bit of the questions that I see here. The question, it says, House of Innovation and Technology says it creates a suitable platform for Kenyans' innovative idea owners, programs, knowledge-based companies, startups, and creative industries to benefit from the technologies acquired from Iranian companies over the years. It is also not clear how IEBC, even when proven to have allowed Semantics to have local company connections. You remember Semantics was given a chance to have a local company connection where they will be based around this side. That is where we will get them. So this is the question. It is not clear how IEBC, even when proven to have allowed Semantics to have a local company connection, chose a startup company with no proven track record in provision of election technology as the link to the polls technology firm. That is the same question I was asking you just right now. Why would they give it to Seamless Company?
So we have seen part of the reason is because Mr. Abdullahi Mohammed was indeed working at IEBC.
An employee of the IEBC, yeah.
And I want to maybe read further what Standard says. Throughout this saga, Mohammed, who is the CEO of Seamless Limited, has projected himself as the local agent of Smartmatic, the Dutch company that won the tender to supply technology in the August poll. And I want to quote what maybe the DCI said in a statement on Sunday. They said that investigators would ordinarily expect Abdullahi Abdi Mohammed to be the one to call Manjan on the incident, whereby on this incident that the staff was detained
at the airport.
At the airport.
Yeah.
Investigators would expect Abdullahi Mohammed to be the one to call Manjan, but it was not that. It was not the case. Because
it was Abdi Salam.
Abdi Salam was the one who called who called Mr. Manjan to give that information. So it seemed Abdi Salam went to cover for Mohammed. DCI said in a statement on Sunday. And I want to maybe continue what the Standard says. It is not clear why Abdi Salam's name was invoked during investigations. Focus has been on Mohammed since the three foreigners were arrested. The arrest has triggered a political storm with just 2 weeks to elections. And I want to quote what maybe Mr. Kinoti says. He says that it is clear from the investigation letters that the three foreigners were to report to Mohammed's office at the Nairobi and not IEBC warehouse. No at the IEBC warehouse, not the IEBC offices, said Kinoti. It is clear the three foreigners are in Kenya solely for business with Mohammed. That is now according to Mr. Kinoti.
I also want to just highlight something about what Mr. Kinoti said, because now that you've talked about it, and he says that it was also unclear why the election kits stickers were flown in if Seamless Technologies were hired to provide such a service locally. That's a very interesting question if you look at it.
Yes.
If we had the chance to do it locally, why were they being flown in, and why were they being flown in by individuals? Then we also had a story that the IBC was expecting the stickers the next day.
Yes.
So these excuse me, were these two different people, or it's just one entity? So we are trying to marry all that together and to get the answers slowly, and we'll be telling you more like right now. So there's a question here. Taking cognizance of the upcoming general elections and the purpose of the stickers, which is to identify and track Kim's kit bags, it would be a risk and a threat to credible and accountable distribution of legitimate Kim's kits bags to respective polling stations. This may be very costly to the country, Mr. Kinoti said in his statement. DCI said the 16 rolls of election kits identification stickers were for polling stations in Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Meru, Machakos, Murang'a, Nyeri, Tharaka Nithi, Nyandarua, Bomet, and Kericho. That is a little bit of Central and the Rift Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'll just want to take that again, so that if you didn't get it, I want you to get it. DCI said the 16 rolls of elections kits, identification stickers. I think these are the kits that were found with the Venezuelans. Were for polling stations in Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Meru, Machakos, Murang'a, Nyeri, Tharaka Nithi, Nyandarua, Bomet, and Kericho. According to the DCI boss, Mr. Chebukati had failed to tell Kenyans of other stickers that had been brought into the country, as well as the presence of a blank roll the police said they had found. So in all this, there was a blank roll that was found. What happened to these other stickers? What happens to this other constituency or these other counties that are there? What happens to these other counties, because most of the counties that are here, if you look, Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Meru, Machakos, it's between Nairobi and the Rift Valley. Yeah, so there are so many answers that the IEBC chair is not really sharing with us.
So that's a very, it's a big story, because as I said, it's a follow-up story. It keeps unfolding.
And just to add something a little bit that is also interesting, it says, Chebukati is not also telling Kenyans the total number of stickers specified and procured by the IEBC. He needs to tell Kenyans, just as he is enthusiastic to harangue on persuade harassment to enable the public to reconcile the total number of stickers the IEBC can account for as of now, Mr. Kinoti said. So the DCI is all over this story and taking it with a lot of keen interest, as you also are, because the DCI also disputed Mr. Chebukati's concerns that the confiscation of the equipment carried by the Venezuelan citizens, which the police say was one laptop. I just need, that's a very interesting one. So it's just one laptop, unspecified number of flash disks, and a smartphone. These are the things that were confiscated from the Venezuelans by the DCI. So let me just take that back. The DCI also disputed Mr. Chebukati's concerns that the confiscation of the equipment carried by the Venezuelan citizens, which the police say was one laptop, unspecified number of flash disks, and a smartphone, was a threat to the preparation of the election. Is Mr. Chebukati telling Kenyans that the entire election is contained in this one personal laptop, a few flash disks, and a personal phone? How casual does Mr. Chebukati want to tell us that in the event the luggage got lost or misplaced in any of the connecting airports, there could be no elections in Kenya? That is an interesting question there.
It's a very
everything is contained in one personal laptop, a few flash disks, and a personal phone. So the question that really got the humor out of it is, what happened if it got lost in the interchange at the airport, when you change from this plane to the other? So we won't have elections because that is our heart. That is the heart of the IEBC. So, yeah, food for thought. You guys think about it. Is Mr. Chebukati telling Kenyans? Oh no, let me just not take that again. Mr. Chebukati wants to tell us that in there, Semantics Company won the tender as the highest scoring technological company to have the entire important and sensitive information in such gadgets and stored in such pedestal manner. You remember when we had issues with Semantics Company about how they got their tender. Now, the DCI is asking, Semantics Company won the tender as the highest scoring technological company to have the entire important and sensitive information in such gadgets and stored in such a pedestrian manner. This is laughable. And that is Mr. Kinoti saying, not me. That is Mr. Kinoti saying. The DCI boss then challenged Mr. Chebukati on what he said was all talk and no action. We are challenging Mr. Chebukati to put his house in order and walk the talk to delivering his own words a free, fair, and credible 2022 general election that meets the democratic aspirations of the people of Kenya. He should desist from intimidating and blackmailing responsible players in exercising their rightful duties by constantly misusing the media through press statements or otherwise. Kinoti, Mr. Kinoti concluded.
Okay.
So this is a story to look up to, like this is a story to watch.
Yeah, you should definitely look at it on page 4 of the Standard.
And it's also on page 4 of the Daily Nation. Yeah,
It's an unending story.
It is
cannot end. But we'll definitely keep you informed as time goes by, and as things unfolds, we'll definitely tell you what is happening. But right now, we need to take a short commercial break. Please don't switch that button. We'll be back in a bit.
Did you know that there is an island with the name of Christmas on Earth? Christmas Island, officially known as the Territory of Christmas Island, is an Australian external territory comprising the island of the same name. It is located in the Indian Ocean, around 350 kilometers south of Java and Sumatra, and around 1,550 kilometers northwest of the closest point on the Australian mainland. It lies 2,600 kilometers northwest of Perth and 1,327 kilometers south of Singapore. It has an area of 135 square kilometers. Christmas Island had a population of 1,843 residents as of 2016, the majority living in settlement on the northern tip of the island. The main settlement is Flying Fish Cove. Historically, Asian, Australian, of Chinese, Malay, and Indian descent formed the majority of the population. The first European to sight Christmas Island was Richard Rowe of the Thomas in 1615. Captain Willis Munoz named it on Christmas Day, 25th December 1643. It was first settled on the late 19th century. Stay in the know with Isaac TV. Did you know that there is an island with the name of Christmas on Earth? Christmas Island, officially known as the Territory of Christmas Island, is an Australian external territory comprising the island of the same name. It is located in the Indian Ocean, around 350 kilometers south of Java and Sumatra, and around 1,550 kilometers northwest of the closest point on the Australian mainland. It lies 2,600 kilometers northwest of Perth and 1,327 kilometers south of Singapore. It has an area of 135 square kilometers. Christmas Island had a population of 1,843 residents as of 2016, the majority living in settlement on the northern tip of the island. The main settlement is Flying Fish Cove. Historically, Asian, Australian, of Chinese, Malay, and Indian descent formed the majority of the population. The first European to sight Christmas Island was Richard Rowe of the Thomas in 1615. Captain Willis Munoz named it on Christmas Day, 25th December 1643. It was first settled on the late 19th century. Stay in the know with Isaac TV.
Right from inception, the Daisak Media Services Limited has been committed to resolving the deficiency of empathy and progressive leadership and promoting mentorship in our social values system. Our vision and dream is to have a society where these values thrive for the well-being of all.
We strongly believe that every human has a right and a responsibility to self-actualize not only their individual potential, but that of the surrounding community.
Our media outlets use innovative broadcasts to highlight social challenges and chart the way forward to a progressive future where the elders embrace the energy of the young, while the young acknowledge the wisdom of their elders.
At Daisak Media Services Limited, we have infused technical diligence to ensure that we are accessible at the convenience of you, our audience. Here, we employ creativity and calculated logic to ensure that our news are accurate, fair, relevant, and timely, and that our shows are fascinating. Our rate card is determined by our resolve to maintain a balance between the industry standards and giving our investors great value.
Please join us in our deep-rooted commitment to bridge the gap between status quo and the future we desire for the current and future generations.
Daisak Media Services Limited,
where successful businesses
connect.
Welcome back to Morning Dew Show here on Daisak TV, the cradle of goodness. Now, as you know, we are now at the lifestyle segment, and we have a very, very interesting topic to discuss with you guys.
Given that the fact that, on the lifestyle segment, we always deal with matters, a lot of matters, entertainment, health, fitness. And today, we are on ladies today. I know Anne is excited. On the recent past, we've been having her on the limelight. Yesterday, we had, you remember, the snakes bringing us skin products through the snakes. And today, the Daily Nation is also giving us something that is so interesting that we want to discuss with you. So keep it locked as we take you through this. You don't want to miss this. And the heading is the dangerous search for a perfect body. If you're a guy out there, you know how it goes. Yeah, you know your lady wants a perfect body. But what does she have to go through to get that, What is the road? It's a very high road. There's something said in Kiswahili that urembo ni gharama. Yeah. So let's get into this, man.
So there are a lot of factors when it comes to a perfect body. For us ladies, and I know maybe guys actually have joined in on these.
Joined on what?
On these, they also want to have a perfect body.
No, I think
perfect shoulders.
No, I think
perfect neck.
I think for guys, you have to hit the gym. Just hit the gym.
But not everyone hits the gym.
You have a perfect body. It's not like the ladies here. Now the ladies, you go extreme. It's surgery and all that. But for the guys, man, I know it's good that gym up. Yeah, a little bit of steroids. I know there are guys who do steroids or something of that sort. But let's see the depth that ladies go to have a perfect body. And I don't know, guys. You can tell us on our social media platforms. Do they do this to impress the man or for their own satisfaction? Because I see even married ladies doing this surgery. So I'm like, if you're my lady and I appreciate you the way you are, I don't see why you have to go the extra mile to do all that. But we have Anne here. She's gonna tell us all that. Yep.
And I want to tell you something, Mr. Kilamba. We definitely don't do it to impress you.
Then who is it for?
It is for our own. That's. How do I explain it? You girls can understand what I'm saying. It's that you feel good about yourself. You have perfect hair, perfect nose, perfect face, perfect. You know, everything is perfect.
So would you say the ladies have esteem issues?
No, definitely. It's not about esteem issues.
Then what is
It's
it?
about looking good. You know, there's that feeling you have when
Uh-huh.
you know you look good, and you know that when you're walking, people are looking at you.
Whoa.
Hey, okay, that chick is fine. You know, it's true. It's factual, and everyone wants to have a perfect body, and that is why when you go to the gym or workout places, a lot of people are there
At what cost?
at in the morning.
Yeah.
From
For the gym is okay. That is fitness, purely fitness. And I would recommend anyone who wants to have a nice body, shape it up, just hit the gym.
It's
Anne is just about to tell us what others do.
listen, you know why? Let me ask you a question. Why do you hit the gym?
I hit the gym so that I look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
I want to
saying
look good in my suits. You know, I have to hit the gym. You know, that's the thing. Why don't you want to hit the gym and rather? She hasn't told us.
You know, this process that I'm going to take you through is very easy. There's no
There's no gymming.
There's no gym. You don't have to get tired.
There's no hard
You
work.
just have to pay money.
Yeah.
And it's done for you. So we're going to get
Pretty wrong.
into details with it. Now let's start from the hair.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
This surgery for the hair.
Guys, you're with me?
Yes, and it's called stem cell hair transplant. So this technology uses the patient's own stem cells to treat progressive hair loss. So, and you know, a lot of ladies and also men have a problem with hair loss. Maybe
Your
your
hairline.
hair doesn't grow, or hairline is, you don't have hairline at all.
So there's a surgery for that.
There's a surgery for that. And actually, I think this can work still for men that are bald. Yeah,
Yeah, we saw Wayne Rooney at some point did that when he had a bald, and they added something. But I don't know if he did this, but this is it, guys.
Yes, there's a surgery for the
Hair.
hair. It's called stem cell transplant. Now it has side effects though.
Okay.
There's bleeding, infections, and scarring.
Mhm.
Yeah, so be very cautious when you want to get into it. Just know that there's some side effects, but I know they're not that adverse.
So let me ask you something. Does your now after the transplant, your hair grows natural hair?
Yeah.
It is natural hair. It's not like you when in Africa then you like having warabu hair or something of that sort. You
No,
just
no,
have
no.
your natural hair.
No. Yeah, it grows. It allows your hair to grow where the follicles were taken from, as well as where they are transplanted. So it grows. It's here to grow at the guy. It will grow.
Ukwe Afrika wazee uko na nywele dengu alafu saizi zinatokea za kizunguzungu. Transplant my people. Okay,
Let's move to the nose. Yes.
Yeah.
let's surgery for the
We are
nose.
going step by step. Maka tufike kwa mguu. Tuko kwa mapua.
There's a
Ehe.
surgery for the nose. It's called rhinoplasty or nose job, and I know you ladies have heard of it. A lot of celebrities have done it. Yeah, nose job is medically called nasal reconstruction. It is a plastic surgery procedure for altering and reconstructing the nose. If you want a sharp nose, if you want a small nose, a detailed nose, a bigger nose, rhinoplasty is there for you.
You know what? I think I want that. Yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized mapua yangu iko hivi, si ndio? So if they can bring it back, bring it back to where it should be, you know, because imebend hivi kidogo. I would recommend that. Does it have side effects?
Obviously. it
Oh
has
no,
side
it's not tacky.
Now, side effects for that is infection,
Wow.
difficulty in breathing, and scarring.
Wow.
Okay. But I know these side effects are not that advanced,
Difficulty in
but There are
breathing.
side effects. That is why I'm reading the side effects to you. So before you think about doing it, no,
think twice.
there's a side effect for it.
Niacheni na mapua yangu tu, I'm okay.
Let's go to the face. Yes,
Yep.
and you know you've heard of it, Botox. Botox is a high purified protein injected into the skin to relax muscles that cause wrinkles. So if you're having wrinkles
And you don't want to
Botox
grow
is for
old.
you. Yes, it is done by those seeking an enhanced appearance with fewer wrinkles.
Okay.
So it makes the wrinkles go away.
Yeah,
basically.
old people, there's something for you here, man.
Yeah.
If you think you're aging, you don't want the wrinkles on your face, there is what?
Botox.
Yeah, Botox.
I don't know if I pronounced that right. I really hope so. But also, it has side effects: vision problems, muscle weakness, breathing problems,
Yeah.
loss of bladder control,
Wow.
and trouble speaking.
How ironic is that? You do your face, but you have no bladder control. Just because you did your face, you don't want the wrinkles. So, guys, think about it.
But it's an idea. Okay, there's another one on the side of the face. It's called facelift. Now, the facelift is also known as the retidectomy. The procedure is done to create a younger appearance on the face. So, if you want to look like young forever,
Yeah. Kula mboga. Now, take it easy. Because you see, it has no side effects. You can hit the gym, have a good diet. You stop this.
there's a facelift. Now, the facelift, it has side effects, of course. There is swelling, can cause swelling around the face, skin loss, pressure, nerve injury, and so many other side effects. And okay, let's move away from the face. As from the face, we go to the neck, because we're doing the full body. You know, apparently right now in 2022, we have surgeries for every
Everything.
part of the body. Now there's a neck surgery. It's called the turkey neck. You know this neck that you get when you become older, and everyone gets it. There's a way that someone maybe looks when you're older. So the neck lift procedure is used. They use threads. The sagging skin is lifted. Now the sagging, you stop sagging. It's lifted from the neck bottom up to the face. So if your sagging skin is like this, you look like this, and yeah, you have a turkey neck. Yes, but that has side effects also. You can bleed under that skin, or you can have open wounds. Okay, and let's move away from that. Now let's go to the most done.
Yeah,
surgery.
what ladies like doing.
Yes, there's one for the breast, and it's called a breast lift.
Yep.
Now, the breast lift, also known as mastopexy, raises sagging breast by removing excess skin and tightening the surrounding tissue to create a more youthful breast contour.
Because of why? Because of why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you know, ladies do that because, you know, as I said, we're not doing it for you guys. We want to just have that.
What if I just appreciate you the way you are? Why would you go through all that? Now, if you're a parent, maybe you've gotten a kid or two, you have sagging breasts. Why would you want to bring them back to where they were? Let's be realistic and say we are living to grow old, and growing old is a must, whether you do this or not. Yeah, but because right now this is a trend the ladies have taken, because I think it's a way of making money or something. Yeah, I think you have to look good. Yeah. So, but hear from the experts.
Okay. And that one also has side effects, but not so many. Temporary numbness. You become numb, but it eases off as time goes by. And there's sensation around the breast area and so many others. Now, there's another one for the thighs.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a surgery for the thighs, and it's called a thigh. You know, there are people who have a thigh gap, which is a noticeable space between one's inner thighs when standing with knees together. So there's a surgery for that.
So just a minute. I find that very nice. That space you guys are trying to get rid of. I don't find a problem with it. And I don't know, because I've heard of ladies complaining their thighs rubbing together with, if depending on the weight or something. I don't know how it works, but because of the weight, now when they walk long distances, their thighs get to rub, so it creates some friction, so it's not always good. So I think in that case they should have that gap. But you're talking of them reducing the gap.
Yes.
Wow.
And actually, that has also side effects. But that one is not common because I think people are, they love. Okay, I don't know why it's not common, but it's not common.
Yeah, it's not common because I think if you want a good or big thighs or something, just hit the gym. There's a leg day workout for you, and just unless you want the shortcuts, and the shortcuts have side effects. As you can see, there's nothing we've read here that has no side effect. Ladies, you want a perfect body, hit the gym, have a good diet. I'm still saying that.
Okay, the side effects for the thighs is pain, bruises, excess bleeding, and so many others.
You see?
And okay, let's move to now this part that we wanted perfectly, the waist.
Okay.
Ladies, and you know what I'm talking about. The waist, you want the waist to be 16 size, at most 20. You know,
Bumblebee.
there's a surgery for that. It's called liposuction. Now, this liposuction is very common. A lot of people, celebrities, non-celebrities, do this. Now, the liposuction, it's for waist contouring to remove stubborn pockets of fat from thighs, flanks, abdomen, and the back. So you get your 16 size waist or 20, but it has side effects. Anesthesia, bleeding, infections, and so many others. And I think that from all these surgeries, there has to be some bleeding.
And infections.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the hips. There's a surgery for the hips, whereby the hips can be increased in size and width.
Yeah, ladies, that comes the good news.
I didn't know you can do that. Okay, there's a side effects for that. There's bruising, wound infection, and so many others.
It was surgery.
The one that really surprised me is the knee.
Yeah, but then, ladies, please, ladies, please, whenever you decide to go alter your body, it was surgery. I naga mistakes you get, but whenever you decide to go and what's the word I'm looking for? If you're going to do your body in a different way or do a body part, please
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, if you're going to do plastic surgery, tafadhali usisahau magoti na hapa kwa elbow. Because we get to know you from these places. You know, it's like ukikunja, if you're bleaching, let me tell you just an example. If you're bleaching, the core areas to look at is your elbow. We would look at your elbow, we would look at your knees, and we would tell you to make a fist. So we would see the spaces. The spaces in there. So please, ladies, be very keen, man. These days tunawajua na tunawaangalia. Anyways, from the expert.
Okay, the knee surgery removes the fat deposit from the inner knee.
So you be bony.
So there's a thing for that. I did not know. Side effects: it does not completely get rid of the saggy skin. That's a side effect.
Okay.
So it won't completely go, but it will go for some time. Bruising, excess fluid accumulation. Okay, that's risky. There's another one here that's called the tummy tuck, and this is for the tummy area, and I know maybe a lot of people are facing challenges with this. It's also called abdominoplasty. It's a cosmetic procedure that eliminates unnecessary fat or excess skin from the abdominal area.
Okay.
Yes, there are side effects: swelling, pain, bruising, numbness, and so many others.
Let me ask you, when you do that tummy tuck, should you do it after you got pregnant or before?
I think it's after, because there's a postpartum, there's usually postpartum depression and postpartum weight that you have to lose after giving birth.
Okay, and what if you do it before? It means does it have a problem with giving birth or something?
Okay, they have not said it has a problem, but more research is definitely going to be done, and I will inform you on that.
Yeah, the next time we'll bring one doctor or one of the celebrities here.
An expert.
One of
Okay.
the celebrities, though.
Now, last but not least,
Mm-hmm.
the buttocks.
Yeah,
There's a
ladies.
surgery for that.
The ladies.
And I know
Yeah.
that you have maybe heard of it or thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Brazilian butt lift.
Well,
BBL.
let me ask you first, just to be on the know. Najua Ana ananichanua hapa hivi, and I'm also learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Brazilian, kuna Brazilian hair. So, sahi kuna Brazilian buttocks.
Butt lift.
Oh, butt lift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, madam, we love Kenyan butt lift when Jizasa Brazilian butt lift. Guy. Okay, what is it all about?
Okay, it adds buttock volume and projection and or perfect overall shape of now the area, and it makes it become maybe how you want it to be. It has side effects.
Mm-hmm.
The procedure has the highest mortality rate of any cosmetic surgeries, which means
Please,
there are a lot of deaths.
you really need to
in
repeat that for the ladies, young
the
ladies.
procedure has the highest mortality rate
Yeah.
of any cosmetic surgery.
The mortality rate is bad news. Guys are dying.
Yeah, death from BBL is caused by the accidental injection of fat into large veins, which then travels up to the heart, lungs, or brain, causing a blockage of blood flow.
Yep.
So, as you've heard, it's very risky.
Mm-hmm. And I can really recommend you ladies to a different thing. You can hit the gym and do some squats. The things that can bring your perfect body out, bring that nice ass out, you know. So please, people, you don't have to go through this because you've had. I know you guys want big bams being told. So all the men watakuwa tu wamevunja shingo, but at what risk? You can still hit the gym. I know it will take a little bit of time, but you'll be awesome. Think about it.
So, and there's a second one under the buttocks area. It's called as a liposuction, and we saw it on the west side. Now on this side, which is liposuction, which is currently trendy in the country, is a type of cosmetic surgery that breaks up and sucks fat out of the body, usually from the abdomen, thighs, buttocks, neck, chin, upper and backs of the arms.
Is that
Sucks out everything.
is that a surgery or what is all what is it all?
It's a cosmetic surgery, yes.
So you
Sucks fat from all parts of the body. That is the buttocks, neck, chin up, backs of the arms, calves, and back.
so it's something applied.
No, I think it's I don't know how it's done, but it's a surgery. It's a cosmetic.
Because I've heard it's very common in
Yeah, it's Kenya. It's very common.
in Kenya.
Kenya.
The ladies are doing it, man. And you're saying, ladies, you're saying you're not doing it for us? You're
No.
doing it for who? Yourselves. I think you loved yourself since you were in primary. You'd look at yourself in the mirror and say, yo, I look beautiful. What happened after you got to university or after university? You started seeing yourself as you need, I don't know. Am I speaking your mind too, or you on the other side?
You know, I'm just giving you guys views of every surgery that is out there. But remember, there's side effects to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and generally talking about it, we have been together, and you have been together with us during this segment, and we have talked about every. You know, there's a surgery for everything, from the hair to the toe. Yani kuna hadi miguu. You get.
Na
But
makucha.
I don't know if you have noticed, there's a side effect. Na side effects karibu zote kwa nose, hair, face, breast, waist, hips, there's some bleeding or some lack of breathing, mortality rate, and
And I just want
there's side effects.
I just want to ask something, Anne. What happens to these people who do this? What happens to them when they now get to old age? Maybe they hit 60s or something. Does it backfire on them? Do you get back the skin? Do you get back the weight, or what happens?
I think it's a process that continues. Like maybe you do it for 10 years, then after 10 years you go again.
Okay.
I
It's
think
quite
a continuous-
expensive.
It's a continuous process. It's expensive because the lowest is 35. The lowest is 35,000, which is the facelift.
Mm-hmm.
And others can range to 5 million. The Brazilian butt lift is 4 to 5 million.
Wow.
It's very expensive. But the cost of beauty is painful. And there are Kenyan celebrities who have done these things, these procedures.
Yeah.
And you can see them, the likes of maybe socialite Vera Sidika, Huda Monroe, Joan Murugi.
By the way, just so you know, Vera Sidika used 15 million to lighten her skin. Si angekuja huku Central akae kwa hii baridi atoke kwa jua, angekuwa very brown. Anyways, she used 15 million to lighten her skin. Yeah. Joan Murugi also used 600,000 for what?
For liposuction.
Yeah, that is liposuction. 600,000. So if you're thinking about it, you gotta have money.
Yes.
Socialite Huda Monroe, she had her breast enlarged at a cost of 1 million. These are working lands. Yani, mnajua hii ni shamba inatembea. Unajua shamba ya 1 million, what you can do na shamba ya 1 million. Hata ukiweka tu upande miti for 7 years you'll be a millionaire. Just hizi ni watu wanatembea nayo. Popular actress like Catherine Kamau Karanja, Kate, she's known as Kate the actress, who has undergone a weight loss procedure called gastric balloon. Now we haven't been told how much she used, but she did undergo a weight loss procedure called gastric balloon, and you can either decide to do this, what Anne is saying here, which is surgery, or you can rather go down there and hit the gym. I know the results won't be automatic, but they come through in the long run, so that we don't lose so many of you beautiful ladies. We still need you. And by the way, we love you the way you are. So if you don't have to pressure yourself so much. Yeah.
We definitely don't do it for the guys. I don't know if I'm just alone, but you can tell us what you think about this and this whole topic. But what I would maybe say on behalf of ladies out there, if you're perfect just the way you are.
Yeah, and we're not so much on the ladies, because we know also guys, you also do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a renowned MC and event organizer that is Big Ted. All of you know Big Ted. He also underwent a gastric bypass surgery in India, and he disclosed that he spent about 700,000. So it is very expensive. 700,000 can move you from one spot to the other. So don't pressure yourself so much.
So just be very cautious if you're going to decide to do it, because at the end of the day, it's your decision. Be very cautious and know that there are side effects. Just research on it before you think about doing it.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to engage in something that you don't know the side effects. Yeah, but you're good the way you are. As Mr. Kilambo said, just do the gym. The gym actually works. It does really work. You just have to be persistent and, up for it.
Yeah. But if you also go for the surgery, we don't mind. We will appreciate you through. Yeah. We appreciate beauty, whichever it is. We do appreciate beauty. Whether you do surgery, the gym, or you be normal as you are, we'll always appreciate beauty. Wanaume wanakuaga hivyo.
And not forgetting that this story is on page 4 of the DN2 Daily Nation. So make sure you read it, internalize it, and before you make that decision. But from us, that's the end of the show. It has been amazing for you guys to join us throughout the whole show. It has been great. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that tomorrow you'll be here, same time, same place. I've been your host, Anne Mungai.
Yeah, and as I bid you guys goodbye, I wanna wish you a very prosperous day, and thank you for being with us from that time till now. And my name is Andy Mike Kilambo.
Have a good day.